It's time to complain on the internet. So gaming right now is in a pretty bad spot. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with that. But I don't think it's going to be like this forever. Maybe in the next 10 or maybe even 5 years in the future, maybe gaming may make a comeback and it will be extremely good again. But right now, there are a lot of absolutely terrible things that game developers just keep on doing. Mainly because they can get away with it. Because although a lot of people like to go on places like Twitter and Reddit and talk about how terrible gaming companies are and say, man, people like EA, Activision, and Ubisoft, they're just terrible. People still go and buy everything they release and also defend them like it's their full-time job, which makes no sense to me. And one thing that a lot of people love to defend is a absolutely terrible thing that game developers keep on doing, and that is making their games always online. When I think about a game that's always online, I think about something big, something that has to be online for it to work. A good example is something like Destiny 2, a community game where you're going to need to matchmake with people so you can go and complete activities, or maybe something like League of Legends or Valorant, a competitive multiplayer game where obviously you need to be connected online so you can go and play with other people. Which, by the way, if you're playing something like Valorant, you need to stop immediately. Okay, that's instantly a bad sign because I don't know why you'll waste your time playing a game like that. I mean, I even heard that there's a group of people who play that game to go on Valorant E-dates. Yes, that's something that actually exists. I did not make that up. Which is absolutely insane that you're playing this game not so you can climb ranks and be like the number one loser in the lobby. No, man, I'm here trying to get a girlfriend. And you know what? I hope you succeed when you go and do something like that because there are some pretty thirsty people in the Valorant community. But I'm not here to make fun of Valorant. I can do that another time in another video. I am here to talk about Ubisoft. Because not so long ago, they ended up making an amazing announcement that one of their games, The Crew, is going to be taken off the Ubisoft store, taken off Steam, and you're not going to be able to play it anymore because they are shutting down the server. So basically, if you spend money on that game and you thought it was going to be something that you can play for an extremely long time, you can't do that anymore. The game is being shut down. And this game isn't even that old. It ended up coming out around 2014, which I know there's going to be a lot of people out there saying that that's an extremely long time, but it's really not. You want a good example? A game like Destiny 1, something that also came out around 2014, you could still play that game right now. You can still pick up an original Xbox One or a PS4, hook it up, and still play that game. So they have no excuse for randomly shutting down a game like this. And the main reason why something like this is extremely dirty is that this game has basically no reason to be always online. It's basically just a worse version of Forza. That's basically what this game is. And even in the files, people end up finding that there is a offline patch in the code. So Ubisoft have the resources and manpower to actually make this game offline. They just don't care enough to. I know there's a lot of people in the community tag and also people who are blasting the reviews of the new Crew games that are coming out. Stuff like The Crew 2 and I think The Crew Motocross, telling people about this not to buy the game and also demanding Ubisoft to actually add the offline patch. But something like that isn't going to happen, mainly because most people don't really care enough about stuff like this, and plus Ubisoft can just get away with it. You can easily tell that Ubisoft doesn't care at all when you go and see their official statement, because obviously they ended up officially releasing this on their website, telling everyone the extremely bad news that yeah, The Crew, the game that you ended up spending money on and thinking that you could play for an extremely long time, nope, we're taking it down. Why? Because the servers are too expensive. Like, I know we are like a multi-billion-dollar company who's currently making a lot of money still to this day, and we actually have the technology to make the game offline. We're just not. We just can't do something like that, and I'm sorry. We just need to shut the game down, man. Think about the server costs. And something that I love about all of these development statements is every single time when they announce something like this, they always do two things after. And that is one, say thank you, like what Sony did. Yeah, all of those movies that you ended up buying, yeah, we're just gonna take them away from you. You can't really use them anymore. Thank you for your support. Or they do what Ubisoft does and basically tell you to leave them alone and go buy the other two games. Yeah, I know this game ended up getting shut down and that kinda sucks, but you can easily go and play The Crew 2, two other games that is probably going to suffer the same fate, and are probably two games that could easily be played offline if the developers actually care enough to add a patch, but they're just not going to do that, and we're still just going to go and take away the product that you pay for, which is just absolutely crazy. This is the main reason why I'm always against games being always online when it doesn't need to be. A good example of something like this is something like Payday 3, a game that ended up coming out. Tons of content creators were paid to support the game. Everyone thought it was going to release really good because the last game, Payday 2, is so popular that people are still talking about it to this day. Just for that game to basically release, and it's awful. I'm pretty sure you still can't play it to this day, and it's basically just a waste of space and also a waste of development time because I'm positive people aren't going to jump onto Payday 3 after that terrible launch. And stuff like this is just really sad, and this is something that's just keep on getting worse as more time goes by. There are so much games where you can buy it and fully download the game, and it's just going to be completely useless. Like half the features is just completely gone because you need to connect online to play most of the games. And I'm sorry, 95% of games don't need to be like that. Again, unless you're making something like Destiny 2 or Valorant, you can easily add an offline mode. It's just developers don't care to do that because, well, they need some way to sell you microtransactions, and they can't do that if you're playing the game offline. I love gaming. Anyway, that's it. This is just something that I want to talk about. I'm gonna go and watch Uma Musume and actually feel happy. You have a good day or night. See ya.